over Christmas, over New Year's, I was seeing more and more people with COVID than I had ever seen at any other point in the pandemic. And at the same time, there seemed to be this increasing sense of denial at all levels. Everybody that I was interacting with was all sort of, suggesting that, well, we were done. And, that sort of let it rip that you hear, or let it run sort of conversations that are people having, and that, yeah, maybe Omicron's more contagious, but it's less, it's not as deadly, which I think is very interesting, how people can say that with a disease that we've only had for 8, maybe 10 weeks, that how we know this is like, I guess we don't have a lot of evidence to back that up. And it's unreasonable to expect that if you just catch it, it'll be done with. You'll get sick, and you might get better. You might not end up with long COVID symptoms, but you're not going to be immune for more than a few months, maybe a year if you're lucky, because that's how respiratory viruses work. To me, I would ask people to sort of use the precautionary principle and say, well, maybe it is everything you said, but where's the harm in avoiding it, right? And I was saying, like, the best way to avoid the consequence of an infectious disease is to not catch it in the first place. And we know what we can do to not catch COVID. I was born and raised in Saskatchewan, and it's amazing to me that in -40, I can get a neighbor to walk 3 miles to help me change a tire. But I can't manage to convince that same neighbor to wear a mask. And I just have, which one of those is a bigger imposition in my mind, right? And so we have this, we live on the prairies. We understand that we're only as healthy as our neighbor. We're only as wealthy as our neighbor. We have a spirit of collectivism, and it doesn't really matter if you're left wing or right wing. We all understand that we're all in this together. And I just wish that we would take that same collectivism spirit that's run through Saskatchewan for the last 100 years and apply it to this circumstance.